for groups like Human Rights Watch to go in, to push on human rights and so forth. But it's very important that the United States, the United Kingdom, the European Union should not allow their determination to have a strong counter-terrorism security relationship with Libya to stop them from raising issues of human rights in Libya, because they're very important. I was very gratified to see last week a letter from David Miliband, no less, in the Times in response to an article written by Hisham Matar, the son of Jabal Matar, who has disappeared in Libya. And in that letter, Miliband more or less endorsed our report and implicitly promised to raise the issues that we raised with the Libyan government at every opportunity. So I think that's a positive development. Thank you very much.
Tom, thank you very much for this. And just to tell you that I put down some questions on your report on Cruel Britannia, the UK's complicity in Pakistan's torture in Pakistan, and particularly during the time when retired General Musharraf was in charge. We put down some questions. We have follow-up questions. Salma, who is a barrister sitting at the back, human rights specialist, she's put down some more questions which we've not been able to get on the order paper because of the legal wording, but we're going to write to the Minister, and I'll ask Suaad now that our next debate is on your report, Cruel Britannia, and our involvement in torture in Pakistan. So thank you very much. Our final speaker is the young man, Yusuf Izzat al-Maghreb, who has been mentioned because of his son, his father rather, who disappeared back in 1990 on the 12th of March from Cairo. He was abducted, taken to Libya, and unfortunately the family has suffered ever since. With his two younger brothers and his mother, they've lived in the United States of America since 1993. Obviously, the family lives not only deeply concerned and worried about the well-being of his father, but also not knowing where he is, what happened to him, so this young man, it's a story that he will be able to tell you better than me. This young man, from his age of 16, he has worked, looked after his family, took responsibility of his family, but continued to get his bachelor's degree from Georgia State University in 2005. And Yusuf manages, I don't know how, but manages to sleep for 3 to 4 hours, but continues to campaign and to work and to look for his father. Please welcome Yusuf to say a few words about his father and his case.
First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for being here, Lord Ahmed, for bringing up this issue and talking about it, Dr.Suaad and everyone else involved. My name is Yusuf al-Maghreb. My father is Izzat al-Maghreb. My father was actually was taken along with Jabal Matar. It was the same exact night. They were both taken to Libya. Just to give you a little bit of background about my father. My father he's born in 1952. He had 3 children. Basically, I was 6 years old. My younger brother was 5, and my youngest brother was just 5 weeks old at the time of my father's disappearance. Now, my father was a typical 37-year-old at the time. He enjoyed poetry, and basically, as I stated, my father disappeared in 1990. A few years after his disappearance, we received a letter several letters actually, from him in prison. And so I'm just going to review a little bit of the information that we got from these letters. Basically, on March 12, 1990, he even mentions names of people. Colonel Mohammed Hassan from Egyptian External Security came to our house and asked asked him to accompany him to an interview, questioning. He spent the night in prison that night, and he was told that he was going to be taken to Egyptian military base where he can go further questioning. And instead of being taken to this Egyptian military base, along with Jabal al-Matar, they were actually taken to the Cairo airport, where a private jet owned by the Libyan government was waiting for them. And actually, this information is corroborated by U.S. intelligence. U.S. intelligence told us the same exact thing, that a private jet that's used by Ahmed Gaddafi Dem, which is Gaddafi's cousin, I believe, was in Cairo the same week and went back to Libya on the 13th. Okay. In addition to that, so as soon as they left, they were taken to Abu Salim prison. My father names several people that questioned him, and he's got their names in there as well. We also have people that are witnesses that have seen him in Abu Salim prison. We have two witnesses right now in the U.S. that are willing to testify that they have seen my father up until April of 1996, just 2 months before the Abu Salim massacre. So what happened, we're not entirely sure. Another thing is we hear hearsay of people seeing my father up until 2002, 2003. These people can't testify or anything like that because they're in Libya. Now I just want to say something that I thought was interesting in regards to the case. So, in the Guardian newspaper on January 17th, 2010, the human rights lawyer Felipe Sanz says, in 1988, in the landmark Velasquez-Rodriguez case, the Inter-American Court of Human Rights ruled that forced disappearance of human being is a multiple and continuous violation of many rights. It's now accepted in international law that disappearing a disappearing person is an act of torture, so not least for those who are left behind. So what this means is that not just my father is considered that he's being tortured right now, but it's the family as well. And I just want to, we've been talking about all these disappearances and everything like that, but let me explain to you who else is affected. It's not just my father that's affected. It's also us. It's the family. My brother Bashir, he's only 20 years old right now. He was born just 5 weeks before my father was kidnapped. It breaks my heart when he asks us, how was he like? Okay. My middle brother, Ahmed, he's 25 years old right now. Ahmed, Ahmed suffers from PNES, psychogenic non-epileptic seizures. Now, psychogenic non-epileptic seizures are caused by it's an emotional reaction, and what the therapist told us is that it's caused by a trauma, an emotional trauma. And what his therapists and psychiatrists told us and it has to do with our father's case, that our father disappeared. So imagine how I feel when between July and October I went back to the I live in Dubai right now. I had to see my brother suffer with PNES He was having seizures up to 7 seizures in 1 hour. He was having that for 3 months. He was having up to 7 seizures per hour. How do you think we feel?
Do you want to give it a break for a little while, and we'll come back to you if that's okay.
Thank you.
Yusuf, thank you very much. We'll come back to you in a few minutes.